Hey tribe, how are you? I'm looking forward to sharing this with you today. I feel inspired to share a little bit of a meditation, and all that was really coming through powerfully was grounding deeper, grounding deeper. And I've had some emotional storms this morning, and I'm thankful to all of you always, mega big time, for just being you, because in the presence and essence that you are, you reflect back to me a lot of support and love and commitment to the work. And there again, I'm getting that feeling of grounding deeper. And interestingly, I know that a couple of you have, some of you more long timers have come back to the text. So there's a little handful of you who've been revisiting the material over the last days and weeks. And indeed, in my own life, with a lot of emotional turbulence, I'm also revisiting the practice and asking myself to revisit the work, because once we may transform and work through one area of our lives, what I'm noticing is that that then turns around and allows us to look at another area of our life. And for me, there's a lot of looking and feeling in very deeply around relationship dynamic and around falsehood beliefs, around the opposite sex, and healing and working with it as far as healing more childhood wounds around rejection, abandonment, denial, and yeah, just consciously transforming that and working through that. And energetically, what I'm feeling with this idea of grounding deeper is that the emotional work is ultimately what allows us to embody the higher frequencies, right? And so it really is a kind of miraculous process that is invisible, with our physical eyes, in as far as our relationship to timeline reality, right? But the more in tune we become with the emotional field, with the intuition, with the heart space, again, that linearity really does start to dissolve, and it's like you have aspects of self that you're outworking. So you're like these little bumps along your timeline that are covered in masks, and you kind of need to shine light on them until they leave your energetic field in that form, as it were. And so that it kind of intuitive emotional process from the light of your awareness is what helps clear away the cobwebs of those mental patterns attached to those painful emotional experiences. So I'm getting that there might be some childhood wounds coming up for us. There might be deeper clearings and more waves coming up, possibly for some of us around relationships. But then that's personal for me. For some of you, it will just be around whatever patterns we're working with. So there'll be heavy duty releases around control. Or some of us might have the joy of working with a lot of these aspects all at once. So some of us might be dealing with like the relationship and intermingled with our control patterns. Some of us, I'm feeling like, are going to be facing more of our body image issues and our control patterns around food, exercise, and body love. Which is where, again, the personal love rituals and our ability to meditate and our ability to share like this. If some of you guys feel into that, like as a reflection, that sharing like this is a positive platform for you to just release and express and let go of whatever you're carrying, that's what this is for, right? This platform is for you guys to just share unashamedly, like whatever it is that you're going through, so that we open the door of being presence for people, rather than trying to fix one another, rather than trying to power over, control, whatever, right? Just keep doing the emotional work, and then keep showing up to be presence field. Keep showing up to be a loving presence for one another. So we do it for self, so that we do it for one another, and so that we can reflect back deeper, subtler awarenesses that can help us keep integrating, so that we can continue to be beacons, be the vibration, right? Be the new frequencies, be the new paradigm again, so that what I'm noticing as well is that sense of being able to let go does increase. Like our ability to let go continues to become more amplified and powerful, but the diligence of the work is really hitting home for me, as far as being able to reflect back to you that this is a never-ending process. It's really, really deep and profound, and it requires that grit. It requires a real emotional resilience to keep showing up within that emotional field and looking at it from different angles, holding space for your wounding, holding space for the dense wounds that you're carrying, and not blaming yourself and not blaming other for them. And that is part of, often the challenge is like getting away from the mental grip of you I'm allowed, you should feel, that's how you, and it's so spinning out right now. So, and that's one and the same. If we go deeper, we expand, and then there's more shit to work through, and then we go deeper and we expand, and then there's more stuff to sift through. It's contrast, and it's polarity, and it's part of really being an empowered being on this planet. Being an expressive field means yoking your total dynamism, yoking the total expression of who you are, and having the courage to shine it out. That's really what we're asking of ourselves, to shed the density of painful patterns from our past kind of historic programming. And now we're waking up to that, waking up to our power as the beings who have created it. And so we must shift our focus. So right now we're healing. We're just healing. And I think that's part of the mask that's been able to kind of be lifted for me, is putting ourselves out there doesn't mean we have to be final. Doesn't mean that we have to be the perfect guru, whatever we think that is, right? All requires us is vulnerability and transparency, and again, the showing up. The for me, the Aries of like quick fix, now. This journey has just been impeccable for like refining my own subtleties and refining my own gifts and my own awarenesses, because of how much it stretched my ability to be patient, my ability to really stick at something, no matter what isn't showing up, right? When we get a normal job, we get paid, there's an exchange, that's how it is. This empowerment path or ascension journey or true healing journey on a very profound kind of quantum level and cellular level is sort of way beyond where most of us have the kind of mindset. Hence why I'm very aware that it's important that we share, and that we're here, and that we talk to one another, and that we dip in and out when it suits us. That's part of me not trying to make it into a rigid course and trying to claim that I know how your transformation journey exactly is going to go, or that I could offer you a transformation in 3 months. That doesn't align with me. What aligns with me is being honest about how it feels inside, and how I kind of work it out from within myself to empower my journey as someone who loves her life and enjoys life and feels free in her body and free from control and lives in the flow, and an abundant flow of miracles, right? And my wish in living this way and living this life is that it can inspire others to do the same. It can inspire others to step up and speak up and be true to who they are, no matter what. Because even though that appears to be scary in the first instance, our liberation really is on the other side of facing those aspects, facing those conflicted parts of ourselves, owning our true worth, owning our true power, and stepping into that as the expressive field, right? As the beings. And that's part of why we have to do conscious movement, and we have to feel the emotions, because it has to integrate into the body. We can't just keep all of this information in our head. It doesn't do anything to change our lives unless we bring it into the body, and then we take inspired action in whatever way. And that, my friends, requires such fearlessness that I take my hat off to, because how fun, how amazing, how wild, how awesome, and also like intense and just like, whoa, because we're rising, we're rising like the phoenix. We're rising like into these kind of new energies, which is super duper exciting, but like brand new in these bodies on this planet for most of us, as far as we're aware at this point. But I think the human collective has some big awakenings coming up, and I think a lot of us are setting the stage and are going to be able to support the bigger awakenings and the bigger changes in our lives, and continue to create beautiful, happy, harmonious lives in peace with the planet and in peace with one another. So I hope that was useful to you guys. Thank you so much for being here as always, and I look forward to getting the full scoop of what's going on with you, and yeah, touching back in real soon. Take care, guys. Bye.